As we stand, it looks like legislation will be announced tomorrow which could scrap parts of the protocol. That could start a trade war with our largest trading partner while we're in the middle of a cost of living crisis. I spoke to the Prime Minister earlier on. I started by asking him if that was wise.
No, what we're doing is sticking up for the Belfast Good Friday Agreement. And what we're doing is trying to protect and preserve the government of Northern Ireland. And yes, you're right, there's a cost of living issue, but that's certainly not being helped by extra barriers to trade, extra burdens on business that are being caused by the protocol. So, and it certainly won't be helped if we have a situation where the executive isn't up and running in Northern Ireland. You need the executive, you need the assembly, and believe that is what the people of Northern Ireland want us as politicians to focus on. They want us to focus on the economy, on jobs, on healthcare, and that means government's got to get going.
Less than 2 years in, this deal, this protocol, has caused the collapse of the Northern Ireland Assembly, economic hardship for firms in Northern Ireland, and now needs a major revision. Prime Minister, you must be furious with whoever signed up to a deal this bad.
Look, I'll be absolutely frank with you. My priority is, number one, get the government of Northern Ireland up and running. And the problem that we've got at the moment is that we've got one part of the community in Northern Ireland, one of the major traditions in Northern Ireland, the unionist community that doesn't like the protocol. Actually, of the 5 parties that I've just talked to, not a single one likes the protocol as it currently operates. Now, yes, I agreed it, but I agreed it on the basis that it protected the Good Friday Agreement, it protected the East-West strand of the Good Friday Agreement. It explicitly, on the face of it, says that we've got to protect the UK internal market. And that was the reason I went for it, because it seemed to me like those were things that our friends in the EU would mean sincerely.
But you can't be surprised by any of the bits that you don't like at the moment. Pretty much all of them were in the impact assessment papers. I've got them here, I've read them. Did you read them?
Of course, but
So have you just ignored them then?
No, I hoped and believed that our friends would not necessarily want to apply the protocol in quite the way that they have. And everybody knows the barriers that have been produced, the distortions, the diversions of trade. 200 UK companies no longer, 200 GB companies no longer exporting to Northern Ireland, a great deal of faff and botheration for individuals and for companies, adding to costs, adding to the cost of living right now. Now, I'm an optimist, and I think that this can be fixed.
I don't think anyone's ever doubted your optimism, Prime Minister.
And what I hope is that the EU will understand that. What we've got to do at the same time, and I think they do, I think there are ways we can sort this out. And I just repeat my point. Of the 5 parties I've just talked to, from Sinn Féin to the DUP, every single one of them says the operation of the protocol needs to be improved. It needs to be fixed, it can be fixed, and that's what we say, fix it, don't nix it.
Isn't the truth, even if you get a renegotiation, there are still going to be some checks on some goods, however minimal, that the DUP is just going to have to stomach?
What you need to have, and it's very, very simple and commonsensical, what you need to have is a situation in which stuff arriving in Northern Ireland from GB that is not, as they say in Brussels, at risk of circulation in the EU single market is not subject to checks. And at the moment, there is a huge panoply of checks that most people, I think, and I certainly think, are unnecessary and burdensome. And I think we can get rid of them without doing the slightest damage to the EU single market. And one thing I think that everybody would accept is that throughout this process, the UK has been absolutely faithful in protecting North-South, in protecting trade North-South in the island of Ireland, maintaining the common travel area and everything else. And that we will absolutely continue to do.
Sinn Féin have accused you of acting shamefully by proposing to break an international treaty. Have they got a point?
No, not at all, because for us and for me, the legal hierarchy is so clear, and our international legal obligations are so clear. Our prime duty, our prime legal duty, is to the balance, the symmetry of the Belfast Good Friday Agreement, that fantastic agreement that basically makes sure you have the communities of Northern Ireland working together. That's what we're supporting and protecting. And we've had problems in the past. We had problems when we couldn't get Sinn Féin in, you remember, over language. We worked very hard. We fixed it. We're going to do the same this time.
Prime Minister, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's interesting talking to Downing Street sources this afternoon, sources who are familiar with all of those negotiations, and it appears like there has been not quite a softening, but there has been a change in the tone from the Prime Minister. According to them, the Prime Minister has zero appetite for a fight with our European friends. Quote, "I know them well and love them dearly," he apparently said. Interestingly, in the last couple of minutes, the Irish Foreign Minister, Simon Coveney, has made comments coming out of the EU about how there might be possible landing zones. Of course, in all this, the great unknown is the DUP. Will they actually be happy with any fixes to the Northern Irish Protocol, or is there anything that will ever really get them comfortable with offering up a Deputy First Minister to Sinn Féin's First Minister?
Paul McNamara.